Hello, I'm Lara Kulcherson and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. E-commerce giant Amazon has entered the space race. The firm's first batch of internet satellites blasted off into orbit on Monday.
2, 1.
Ignition and full thrust. 5 good SRB.
And liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket.
It marks the first installment of the Internet from Space network under Project Kuiper. Over 3,000 more satellites are expected to follow. Once up and running, Amazon will begin offering commercial services to basically anyone: consumers, businesses, and even governments. It's a bit of a late start in a market dominated by Elon Musk's SpaceX. Musk's Starlink satellites already have a huge market share, meaning Kuiper is now banking on the perceived unquenchable thirst for internet services.
Bezos or Musk, who do you want controlling your internet? While Elon's been rolling the skies with his Starlink satellites for years at this point, Mr. 1964 Jeffrey has been itching to follow in his rocket steps this entire time. Their phallic rockets with esoteric Katy Perry aren't there to get you upset with the bourgeoisie. They're meant to learn how to launch internet rockets. And for the first time, Bezos' company has successfully launched 27 satellites into low Earth orbit to kick off Project Kuiper, the Amazonian equivalent to Musk's Starlink. If you have healthy internet choices where you live, be thankful. Anyone who's off the beaten path is gonna have to choose their favorite billionaire to get all their surfing.
Another rivalry is brewing, but this time in artificial intelligence. Meta has moved to expand its AI footprint by introducing a standalone app. The Meta AI app, to give it its unimaginative formal title, challenges ChatGPT. Meta is claiming it gives a more personalized experience. The app has lifted features from other platforms such as Instagram and Facebook, including content engagement and the sharing of information.
Hey, can you help me make a super specific playlist, like feeling like the main character while driving? This is the new Meta AI app, and it just launched. It's built on Llama 4 and has a voice experience. What is cool though is I can start here on my phone, then switch over to Meta AI on my laptop and keep going. Okay, now the web version has this little canvas where you can edit, code, write. It feels really flexible. And one of my favorite things is the Discover tab where you can see what other people are building. I fell down a rabbit hole of people making AI-generated planners, travel guides, random projects. Seeing what other people are prompting has actually inspired new ideas for me.
Thought your shopping addiction couldn't get worse? Well, tech is working to make sure you are glued to your checkout cart. OpenAI has added a shopping search engine to ChatGPT. And nothing is out of reach. Users can now look up products in electronics, fashion, and even home goods. Created recommendations come with pictures, reviews, and that all-important buy button.
If ChatGPT stays ad-free, this could be huge. It'll shift how we trust recommendations, how we discover products, and honestly for me, the only thing I could think of is a personal shopper meeting the algorithm. I guess a real question for marketers will be, if AI starts curating your cart, what's gonna happen to brand loyalty? Will an ad-free shopping experience be more trustworthy than content creators and influencers? Time will tell.
Meanwhile, Duolingo says it's officially becoming an AI-first company. The popular language learning app announced it's cutting back on human contract workers and replacing some roles with artificial intelligence tools.
Duolingo CEO Louis Van Ahn is saying that his company will be AI first. The most interesting sentence from this document here is that he says, just like how betting on mobile in 2012 made all the difference, we're making a similar call now, and this time the platform shift is to AI. First, they'll gradually stop using contractors to do work that AI can handle. AI use will be part of what is looked for in hiring. AI use will be part of what we evaluate in performance reviews. He states that AI also helps us build features like video call that were impossible to build before. For the first time ever, teaching as well as the best human tutors is within our reach.
Duolingo has also announced the launch of more than 148 new language courses. Thanks to advances in generative AI, shared content systems, and internal tools, the company says it was able to roll out all the new courses in under a year. They have immersive features like stories for reading comprehension and Duo Radio that helps users sharpen their listening skills. Katy Perry probably wishes she had never gone to space, while some people say they wish she had never come back. Since her controversial Blue Origin space flight in April, Perry has been facing significant online backlash. Now, she's on a tour to promote her latest album, 143, but the internet has mockingly dubbed it the Cringe Tour. Some are even calling her to cancel it.
Her 11-minute trip to space, which was intended to inspire women, but many perceived it as a tone-deaf publicity stunt, she used to promote her tour, which unfortunately worked against her because her tour is not selling out.
Yes, it's all inspired by other people's tours and like random things she stole, but they're all like Star Wars, futuristic, space. Like she thought she was gonna come back the astronaut hero, and like she was going to continue that. That was her kickoff for her tour, and now she's going to go into the space tour, and everybody's going to be like, oh, you're a futuristic baddie. But everybody hated her, and so now she can't even explain it because people are like, what is she doing? And she thought it would be obvious from her astronaut.
Now, I don't know if this is a budget issue, if this is a creativity issue. Like, why is she fighting a heating tube right now? Maybe if Katy put her heart and soul into this project, it would be doing better. There's a few reasons why I believe this is a cash grab for Katy Perry and her record label, because the dancing is not too great. I mean, better than what I could do. But like, look at the artwork that we're using here, which she's not fighting heating tubes. She's using AI artwork, which takes away from a lot of people who are trying to work in the industry and really frowned against. So I don't know why she's deciding to do this. It just comes off lazy.
Perry has finally responded to the online hate by replying to a fan's post, saying she's been battered and bruised by the backlash.
After a bunch of Katy Perry fans got together and they got her a billboard saying, know that you are safe, seen, and celebrated, she left this comment to the fans. And in it, she said, when the online world tries to make me a human piñata, I take it with grace and send them love, because I know so many people are hurting in so many ways, and the internet is very much so a dumping ground for unhinged and unhealed.
Ballerina cappuccina, bombardino crocodilo, tralalelo tralala. No, you're not going crazy, and neither am I. These are just some of the characters fueling the internet's weirdest new trend, Italian brain rot.
No, these AI images do not originate from any movie, TV show, or video game, but rather from the rotten brains of us folks on the internet, specifically over on TikTok. In short, there were a few creators over on TikTok that used AI to merge images of animals in inanimate objects. And then they came up with silly names for these creatures using the Italian Atom text-to-speak voice. Some of the words used in these names are Italian, like for example, bombare means to bomb in Italian. However, other words are just kind of Italian-sounding words, like gusini, which is not how you say goose in Italian. Goose in Italian is actually oca. Regardless, many folks have found this trend to be very silly and have wanted to jump in, which has caused an explosion of many new characters. For example, here are some fan favorites. Bombardino crocodilo, tralalelo tralala, tun 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 sahur, brr brr patapim, li 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 la rila.
While the internet is busy laughing at the bizarre creatures and their chaotic storylines, some say there's more to the trend than meets the eye.
The memes inherently call attention to what the philosopher Jean Baudrillard describes as hyperreality, the confusion between what is real and what stands in for the real. When we mix something authentic, like the head of a camel, with something clearly impossible, like the body of a fridge, the resulting dissonance highlights the coexistence of what we can trust online with what we can't. At the same time, the entire image is AI generated, so it's all fake, but it's often mixed in with real-world events. For example, the trending audio for Bombardiro Crocodilo is about the actual situation in Gaza. Essentially, human society derives its assumptions about truth through specific narrative frameworks that determine what is true and what is the acceptable discourse about a topic. And Italian brain rot is challenging that when it confidently classifies the impossible along with the real, creating an absurd disharmony which we then use to generate humor. But that only makes sense in the context of AI and social media algorithms which attempt to impose a neat division of reality. These memes are our way of fighting back, of saying that we don't accept your classification.
But let's be honest, most of the time, the internet is just plain silly. Case in point, social media is asking, could 100 unarmed humans take down a gorilla in a fight? The takes have ranged from hilarious to the surprisingly detailed, with users analyzing tactics and even bringing their real-world knowledge to the mix. And it hasn't stopped there. Actual primate experts have weighed in. They say humans can win if the crowd acts as one massive unit, but there would definitely be casualties. Thankfully, it's all just a theoretical internet argument, and no one has to actually fight a gorilla.
That's 400 pounds of problems wrapped in skin. According to researchers, they can also lift 10 times their body weight. They also have a 1,300 pound bite force, which is strong enough to break just about any bone in your body. But there is no world, no scenario where the gorilla wins that match. I'm not saying it's going to be a flawless victory. Like, we're not coming back with 100 people. I think the entire world has collectively forgotten what we're capable of. Even if every single human weighed 100 pounds, that's 10,000 pounds of highly intelligent human. Not to mention, if it's a fight to the death, you think we're going to be fighting fair?
No, your ears aren't broken. Those really are humans doing seagull impressions. Over 60 people of all ages from 13 different countries flocked to Belgium for the 5th annual European Gull Screeching Championship. And it wasn't just about the squawking, they also dressed the part to channel their inner seabird.
Because of the soaring popularity, I feel like the venue wasn't big enough. It was genuinely hard to get in. The only contestant was heavily pregnant. Here's her entry. She fared pretty well. The judges really liked her and she ended up getting bronze in the adult category.
I feel good, I think. I was a bit nervous, but I think it's great. I practiced with TikTok and I practiced in front of the mirror and in front of the seagulls.
Everyone in the room into a screech for peace, which is genuinely moving. Honestly, had the best day. It was so fun. Nice to see so many people and countries coming together to do something so stupid.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.